Hi, rainbow-coloured nasal hairs. I hope you're okay. I miss you all, and I can't wait till we're back together as a group. But meantime, this is my YouTube chat, my YouTube, and I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't been looking at what we've been doing on Wednesdays, I'd encourage you to go to the YouTube channel to catch up. But we're looking at the stories of Elijah, and they're in the book of 1 Kings. In Elijah's life, so far we've looked at the fact that he told the king there'd be no more rain, and there was no rain for 3 years. But Elijah went to a place where he was by a brook and he was fed by ravens. He then lived at home of a woman who was miraculously provided with flour and oil. There was none in the pot, but when he poured it out, when she poured it out, there was flour and oil in the pot. And God provided for this woman and for her son and for Elijah. But then her son died, and Elijah was instrumental, using God's power, in raising her from the dead. And then there was this big argument between the prophets of Baal, the false god, and Elijah himself. And Elijah called down fire on the sacrifice, which the prophets of Baal couldn't do. And Elijah won that, and then he ordered that the 450 prophets of Baal who were trying to lead the people astray were killed, and they were killed. Then Elijah prayed for rain, and it happened. But someone wasn't happy. Have you ever been on a real high like that? On a real high, really happy with life, and then suddenly something comes to destroy it. Miriam tells a story once of her grandma, her nanny, who bought her a lovely present, and she was really excited. It was long, it was in a big silver box, and she was so excited about this present. And then she opened it up and just really looking forward to something nice. And in it, her nan had provided her with pants and a vest. And they weren't even nice pants and vest, they were just white ones, the normal ones that her mum would normally provide for her. Now, Miriam was thankful that she'd got clothes, of course, but she was so excited that this present in this silver box was going to be something special. And it turned out not to be. And she went from cloud 9 to cloud minus 9 in a few moments. I remember when I went to Albania, I took a team out to Albania, and we did some amazing stuff. It was amazing to be there. We were doing puppet shows around the areas, and it was amazing. But towards the end, when I was really tired, I'd worked hard with the team. We'd done some great stuff together. When I was really tired, someone said something that upset me. Then when I got back to my office, someone had changed the office round and taken all the posters off, and some were quite valuable, and I'd lost those, and I was disappointed. And rather than take it as I would normally, I was really upset about it. I'd gone from cloud 9 to cloud minus 9, and it seems as though this happens to Elijah. Because Jezebel, Ahab's wife, Jezebel is a name that, if you know anything about the names of the Bible, Jezebel was a nasty, nasty character. And she said, may the gods, the small g gods, be very disappointed with me, she said. May the gods strike me and even kill me if by this time tomorrow I have not killed you, just as you have killed them. She said that to Elijah. Elijah sensibly went. He just went with his servant, and then he carried on and went further on his own. He hid under a broom tree in the wilderness. Broom trees would have been about 10 foot tall and would provide enough shade for him to be there. And he said to God that, I want to die. I want to die. I've had enough, Lord. Then he falls asleep. And God comes up to him, the angel of God comes up to him and wakes him up and says, Elijah, wake up. Here's some bread and here's some cold water. I don't know what the nicest thing you can be given when you're woken up, what you really like in the morning when you wake up, something to eat or drink. But I imagine if you're in the wilderness, fresh bread and fresh cold water would be absolutely beautiful. Anyway, Elijah ate as much as he could, and he went to sleep again. And the angel of the Lord woke him up again and said, here's some more bread and here's some more fresh water. You need to eat more because the journey ahead of you is too much. The journey ahead of him was going to be 40 days of walking. So he had to fill up on bread and water. Obviously, he must have had water on the way, but no further bread. And he continued on his way. A few questions. What do we learn from this story? Well, when you're on a high, be careful you don't come crashing down. There's a verse in the Bible which says, if you think you're standing firm, be careful you don't fall. If you think you're standing firm, be careful you don't fall. Sometimes we think, oh yes, us has got us there. And really it's God who's helped us to get there. So be careful not to fall. Put your trust in God and ask God to help you in that situation. Elijah was a man of God, but he still was fearful. And he took sensible precautions getting away from the situation. And thirdly, God provided for Elijah. God went after him with the bread and the water. God provided for him. Big question just to think of at the end. Do you think that this same God who was interested in Elijah is as interested as you? Because do you know what? I really believe that this same God who was interested in Elijah is just as interested as in you and wants that friendship, wants that relationship with you. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for listening.